Hello and welcome to the 52nd episode of the Saints Prime podcast. So it's the aftermatch of the Leicester game. I'm pretty hyped. How are you guys feeling?
What a game. What a comeback from only 3 months ago.
Exactly.
Absolutely solid points from the boys today.
It's quality. Now, we're all pretty hyped and we also want to hear how you guys felt after the game. So we got some match reactions straight after. We replied to a couple, but can't reply to all of them. So Tiz, if you can just reel off who said it and how they're feeling tonight.
Perfect. So we've got J.B13_wait. I've got a call from Europe. He thinks that Europa call is coming. Jesperson says, come on. Armstrong needs to be a regular starter, says Matt_Ashwood.
Yes.
Karma is we know the rest of that. Owen Unsworth. And just basically celebrating from Spain, says Nacho Posada, so I'm not very good at pronunciations. Hassan, who was the GOAT, Jake.Young. Loads of people very, very happy with today's result.
Yeah, one person that does need credit is Mr. Mikey Bateman. Now, if you can remind us what you said previously in the podcast about your prediction. Can you remember what you said? I can't remember it word for word, but I know along the gist.
It would be a magical story. It would probably be the story of the season if we went away and beat Leicester, just showing the turnaround of the squad. And
exactly, mate.
We did it.
And again, it came about. So you got to be happy about that prediction that came true. Tiz, I think you got the score bang on. Can you remind us what you said about that?
I wasn't bang on, but quickly before, if you want to have more clips and you can't watch the whole podcast, that clip was on Twitter. So if you want to go watch there, we'll have mini clips of the thing. I said that there's no chance that we're going to lose. You guys like, oh, don't say that. Bosh. It came in. I said we'd win 3-1 if they rotated, 2-1 if they didn't. And once again, thankfully, I was correct.
Yeah, so if you do want to see that...
No, they did rotate and we won.
I did say... I was going to say a 2-1 prediction, but I changed to a 1-1.
Well, I've got it on the board here. I've got Tizard down as a 3-1, so I don't know whether that... Because you kind of put that add-on bit. And I've got Jamie down as a 2-all that you said, so...
Mikey, silence from you, son. Silence.
Well, you changed your mind, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Because you're wrong.
We got the win. Now, I don't know how you want to talk through this, whether you want to go through it, whether you want to go performances. But is there anything notable that smacks out of you straight away? Because a lot happened. It's not straight away, so it's about, what's the time now? About 8 o'clock that we're recording this now. So it's not straight after. So we've had a little time to think about it, but I'm still pretty hyped about it. What are your main thoughts after that game? Like, what comes straight out at you after that?
For me, oops, sorry, you go.
You go.
For me, it shows that sort of perfect turnaround, what Mikey was saying. This time last year, or not exactly, because we did beat Leicester 2-1 this time last year, but maybe a couple of seasons ago, under Mark Hughes, Pellegrino, Puel, we would have went 1-0 down, heads of drops, and we might have lost 2 or 3. But the fact that we've gone 1-0 down against a team second in the league, and we've been able to go round, get a 2-1 victory, and hold that victory out and not concede just about in the 80-plus minutes, shows, sort of the transformation we've had. And, we're in great form. 3 wins in 2020 out of 3. 12 from our last 15, or 13 points from our last 15. It's going well.
Yeah, it is. It's going really well. And it proves, and I'm quite, after the Leicester reaction, so the Leicester reaction was the one that we first did these reaction podcasts to.
Our highest ever podcast listens as well.
It was, actually, but the thing is that we did that straight after the game because we thought we needed to talk about that game. So that's really, like, where we've kind of come from, like, talking about the Leicester game because the game was so bad to now. And if you listen to some of the stuff we're there, obviously we're very disappointed. I think it's episode 25 if you do want to listen to it and laugh at the stuff, how annoyed we are. But if you look at some of the things we're saying, like I'm saying we've got like a mediocre squad and just dead wood everywhere, and saying that we sell, and we haven't got any solid players in there. But you look at it, and as we've gone on and we've picked up wins, I think it's correct in the fact that we're saying that there are players there and there's potential there. And one thing that I've always stuck is that if you're in the Premier League, you've got the potential to be brilliant because you're in that league. You've been picked up and you've been improved by someone. I've said that all the time that we've been doing this. And it proves it. Like Ward-Prowse, confidence has hit him. And he's just turned into running that midfield and throwing himself at everything and becoming a hard person in the challenges, spraying the ball, and now puts in the cross that we always know he can do. Players are transforming just from confidence that they're picking up.
I hate to say it, you could even argue Cedric Suarez
he was good today.
Good.
Yeah, he's good today.
Why do you hate to say it, though?
I don't like
no, if you support Southampton, you want every single player to do well.
Mikey, our regular listeners will know that I don't like him.
I've been hard on him because I think he can be a frustrating player, and that's not because I just don't like him. It's because you can see he has the potential to do well, and you don't see that as often. And today he showed he's got that potential, and he had a brilliant game today, and he showed that.
Yeah.
And if we see that,
unfortunately, I just don't get it, because surely it's an incredible positive that he's had a fantastic game, and you should be like, it should be one of the best things to come from. Oh, Jamie, shut up.
Okay. Wait, boys. Right, it's a good day. It's a day for celebration. The turnaround that we've had. This is the embodiment of turnaround. Wait, what? It's a celebration?
No, what? Their little dispute.
Right. Their little argument. Well, we'll leave those two to get counselling or whatever. But today is the show between the ultimate low and then the complete turnaround for it, and the revenge got up in their face.
6 games.
Sorry?
Our 5th win in 6 games.
I don't know where we are on the form guide, if someone wants to have a look and see where we are, but
I think we're second behind Liverpool, 10 points behind before this game, I believe. Yeah. I think we've got 20 and they've got 30. I can't remember how many games it's out of.
Yeah.
But that's what it shows.
Arguably the best team probably in Europe when you look at it, really. I mean, the run they're on at the moment is absolutely crazy.
And the fact we're in 12th in the league blows my mind. In fact, I was crying last being 17th and getting relegated. And now it's nowhere in sight now.
Well, we've got to say that we're doing really well at the moment, and Southampton is a team with peaks and troughs. But at the moment, we're a solid 12th. It's not like we just jumped up there. Like the week before, we jumped up to 12th, but that's because the fixtures felt nice. I think we stayed at 12th, didn't we? But now we've got another 3 points on the board, and we're now solid in 12th. Like the relegation zone is 8 points. Like Bournemouth are 8 points behind us now. So we've really solidified us.
Game in hand.
And okay, yeah, they've got a game in hand. But you know what I mean? Like, okay, right, who hasn't got a game in hand then? All right, Burnley on 24. So again, that's potentially 2 games that they've got to play, and we've got to underperform in, and they've got to perform well in. They've got to better our result twice in 2 games to even, start creating a problem for us. Like, we're in a really good position at the moment, and hopefully with the confidence we're on, we can start to build. And even if we do have a setback, we can still rely on those previous performances that we know we can do to continue those good performances. And it's a real set in stone now as well. You can say you can do it, so you can do it again. There's that less chance of self-doubt, I think, and it should be a really beneficial moment to the team. So yeah, I'm going to be rambling, but it's because I'm in a really good mood, so you're going to have to forgive.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Right. Is there anything individually else that you want to comment, or should we go to the game and go to the fixture and then let the conversation flow from there?
I think we should go through the game, and then we should go through the players as well, because I think we should go through it, because I could just ramble on for 40 minutes about random things, but we'll keep it a bit structured. We will go through the game and say how we were feeling at each point, and then we'll go through notable performances. If you want to, say who was your best, your man of the match, or just talk through each player, how they did, we'll go through that as well. But yeah, if we go through that, I think, Jamie, you did that last time, didn't you? You did quite well going through the match.
Well, I just, before we even start going on to the match, even before the team lineups, before the game, Leicester played all 9 goals while Southampton were warming up on the big screens. Fans to watch. And I'm
guessing very nice.
Used as a motivation for Southampton.
But did you find? I don't know whether it's because we were playing well today, but did you think Leicester's I was watching it on the stream, so I heard their fans. I thought their fans seemed really quiet for a team that were they second in the league.
Yeah. Oh, when you've got clashes,
even when they won 9-0 down here, even when they won 9-0, they were quiet for most of it. They weren't having a good time or anything like that. I don't know what it was, but they just were quiet. I think that's just now with a lot of the top clubs, their fan bases are just quiet because I think Leicester's turning into a top 6 club in sort of way. But I think a lot of people have just jumped on the bandwagon in the fact that they won the league and then they did well in the Champions League. I think people are just jumping on that bandwagon and now they're supporting Leicester because it's not one of the top 6. They can't be seen as plastic, so that's why they're supporting Leicester instead.
But yeah,
it's a bold statement.
But it was really quiet, and I tweeted on our Twitter at Saints Brian Pod that at half time our fans did us credit because they were so loud and they were running the energy in that stadium, like a corner, and you heard a couple of clappers going off. But Southampton, you heard all the songs going, especially as we scored as well. That only fired up our fans more, and they really did themselves proud today. And I think that helps as well. Hearing your boys singing the chants and getting behind you going into the difficult periods of the game, and the away fans are backing you. You can hear them behind you. I think it really did help today as well. And that Ralph's been calling for that, and the fans delivered today, and that's credit to them. So yeah, fans we covered. Should we go through it then? Do you want to go through each point?
Let's go.
Just one more thing about the fans. We only had an allocation of pretty 1,300 seats.
Definitely.
So in a stadium of about 30,000, like 1/30 of that was filled with our fans.
Yeah.
And they were the loudest, they were the noisiest, and that just shows credit to them because of how well they were. Yeah.
Yeah. True. Right. Okay. So if we go through it, how we? Okay. So are you just going through
so
like the major
quite
points
early on? Yeah, I go through major points in the game. So quite early on in the game, Leicester came in with a counter-attacking goal, scored by Dennis. I'd never heard of him before until this game.
Right.
There we go. Assisted by Jamie Vardy. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
It was disappointing. Disappointing at the time because we dominated the first 5-10 minutes. And we couldn't put those chances away. I think Danny Ings had 2 1-on-1 opportunities within the space of 10 seconds. And it's unlike him not to finish it off. You know, the goal against Crystal Palace, he had one chance and he scored. Game against Tottenham, he had 1 chance and he scored. Casper did well to save those, but yeah, it was disappointing at the time, knowing that we should have been in front at that point.
Oh yeah, that's true. So wait, So that came before the
that came before the Leicester goal.
Yeah, and you got to say he'd finished harder chances than that previously. Like some of the ones where he's been pulled back and hits it across goal and gets him back in there. Can't remember who that's quite against, but you got to say like that was a good chance. You could just see him. He's trying to sneak it between Schmeichel's legs as he kind of starfishes. But I think there's the who was it? The commentator said. So yeah, it was a little bit upsetting because you'd think, oh, he's going to put it away. And to be fair, we've been treated by so many goals by Danny Ings that we almost expect that to hit the back of the net. But it was a really good chance. But it invited pressure, and the Leicester goal kind of came out of play.
It's a foul by Bertrands, which was a bit of a soft foul, to be honest.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side as well.
Took it quickly. Jamie Vardy unmarked on the left-hand side, crosses it into the box with only 2 defenders there. And quite a nice finish by Dennis Perrat.
The problem I have with that is that he's unmarked at the back post on Bertrand's sides, and I can understand that from a counter-attacking opportunity where our players have caught up. There's the fact that Bertrand was jogging back, which I found quite disappointing as well. Because I know it's different because obviously Vokins has more of a thing to prove, but I saw Vokins against Huddersfield, and when he got out of position, he just absolutely belted back, whereas Bertrand was just a more casual jog. So I was disappointed from that front that he was unmarked.
Leicester a very pacey team as well. You think in the tactics we've been told to get back as soon as possible just to get rid of that indefinite chance of a goal.
But you've got to say as well that the idea is that Stevens and Bednarik holding, fine, but they played it early and they played it into the channels where our left back and right back were still exposed. And credit to Cedric, he's still trying to get in place because that player's in his place that he should be marking. But Bertrand should be still turned on as well to know that if it's going to be going to back post like Vardy, that he needs to try and help up and double up with Bednarik and Stevens. There's no real excuse for him not to get back there, especially that early on in the game. You've got to say you're still full of energy. You need to try and preserve this lead. We do not want Leicester to go ahead. I'm going to get behind the ball and try and help out my centre-backs. And I know he's prone, but I don't know if you mentioned it, but Ward-Prowse busted in the gut to try and get back. So if your defensive midfielders overtaking you to get behind the ball and you're still jogging back, I think that really proves a point that you can at least try and get behind the ball. And that's what highlighted to me in that goal. It wasn't the fact that it was a breakaway goal and a goal, because that's exactly what Leicester are going to do. They're going to be quick. Vardy's got a brilliant cross. Well, he put in a brilliant cross. I don't think he's known for his crossing ability, but he put in a brilliant cross. And their player on the back post took it well, which from that area you'd expect him to put it in the back of the net. So
I'd argue there's more to blame though. Not just Ryan Bertrand, because he's the one that conceded the foul. So it wasn't the foul. It was on the right hand side of the pitch, and it was in our own half. So if he's conceded that foul, he's got quite a long way to travel back.
It was in their half.
And if he's also, because if it's in their half too, the way that we conceded the foul, we were on the attack and Leicester were counter-attacking, and Bertrands brought him down basically as a sacrifice, because if he would have got a yellow card, he would have been on the booking for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He's on the other side of the pitch and he's in their half. He's probably just busted a gut to get an overlap on the attack, and he's probably quite tired.
Yeah.
Like having busted a gut to get on the overlap like he usually does. And I'd argue that it's Bednarek as well, because you're thinking long ball over the top. Yeah, we got caught out from the free kick, which we shouldn't have. Someone should have stood in the way of that free kick. Someone should have delayed the free kick if they possibly could. But we were very nice to Leicester, and they lumped the ball over the top. Vardy, who always does his running, he catches Stevens out. Stevens tries to go across, and there's one man in the middle, and Bednarek doesn't pick him up. And like this is the problem. If there were like 3 flooding in, I'd completely understand blaming Ryan Bertrand for all this, because he's supposed to be at left back or one of the defensive midfielders getting back. But if it's one player in that box, Bednarek should pick him up, because he doesn't have to mark anyone else. He should look over his shoulder, see a blue shirt that's free, and pick him up.
Well, I'm watching it now. Like, Maddison's coming in, so when he's making his run back, he's holding his position. Stevens has come over. He's watching Maddison come in, and admittedly, Maddison's not quite coming in as much because he's holding for either a rebound or being on the edge. So by the time he's looking, he's now seen there's a person at the back post as well, and he's stuck in 2 minds. And Bertrand, like, I know he's got a long distance to cover, but I'm watching it now. He's complaining to the referee before he actually realises he's got to get back in position. And you could say, yeah, a CDM or someone like that can drop into the position or something like that. But it's that awareness, like, you don't, because Leicester breaks so quickly, you don't have that time to think. And Bertrand's Bednarek's caught in 2 minds. Maddison's coming on the inside and coming into his position, and he's got a player at back post at once, so he's almost 2 against 1. And I know it's not as close to him, and you're saying that it's not, they're not both in the box, but they're both attacking his area. So he doesn't know which way to split himself. So he's kind of edged his bets and stayed in the middle. But in the end, he's not close enough to the person back post. And by the time he does move over, he's caught out. But if he...
I just feel it's quite harsh putting every single bit of blame on Ryan Bertrand for that goal.
Yeah. Like, I said I was disappointed by Bednarek, and that's what came out in that clip, that I was disappointed. But I wouldn't blame all the bet on him. I'm just saying that I was disappointed in that situation from him. Because, complaining to the referee and then jogging back in that situation, it just doesn't give off the right impression with me. But I'm not going to pin all of the blame on him. I'm just saying...
it's like... I'd argue it's more disappointing the fact that we didn't even try and delay that free kick, because that's what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. It has been someone getting in front of that free kick and not allowing them to play it quickly.
Yeah.
And the problem is we've done that, and then we're on the back foot straight away. And when you've just got a 2-on-2, it's very difficult, or a 3-on-2. I didn't see Maddison on the edge of the box, so
yeah.
But if you're trying to defend a 3-on-2, you're always going to be caught out at some point.
And that's possibly a negative with such a youthful side. Like, you think Ward-Prowse and Højbjerg are your engine of that team and should be running that team from the midfield, but you kind of think as well, how old are they? 23, 24? You're not going to have that major experience that you'd have in the midfield for someone just to say, look, get right in front of that before it goes off. Slight lapse in concentration and they break away and capitalise. But that's how they've got in that position.
The thing is, we have been doing that over the last couple of weeks. It's not like they don't know it, but like I think it's just because we were pressing them so quickly. And in all fairness, Perez literally gets up and lumps it. So there's not a lot of time to delay it. But yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's just a lapse, isn't it? It's a lapse of concentration, or not quite switched on enough, and you're going to get punished. But that's what you expect from second in the league. So you can't. It happened. Can't you move on from it? Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from that.
Go for it.
Hang on, I'm being an idiot here.
It's got to be Armstrong goal next, isn't it?
5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Ball in from Shane Long. Pass it to Stuart Armstrong. Turns, cuts in, deflection, goes in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Lovely goal from Stuart Armstrong.
And who got the assist?
Shane.
Yeah, Shane Long.
He
did really well as well to switch the play. He noticed that it's not going to be that, defensive midfielder or something like that who's going to snap that up, that interception. He saw that the space was there. And I think Shane Long's really good at picking a pass. It's something that doesn't get noticed in his game because obviously he's a very good target man. But if you notice, there's a lot of goals and a lot of things that he actually creates in the fact that he's got really good vision and that he will pick out a pass. And he picked out Armstrong on the other side of the pitch to take inside, and Chilwell's not close enough. He gets the shot away. deflection, a little bit fortunate, but it ends up in the back of the net.
I think it looks like it's going to be quite a nice finish anyway, so I think it would have gone in. I think Casper won't stop it. Knowing Stuart Armstrong, he is known for his absolute top-class finishing.
He scores belters all the time, famously. So.
No, it has been 11 months since his last goal, so...
Hey,
whoa,
34 points.
I'm just saying, 11 months since his last goal. I was going to say, if you'd have let me finish, it's fantastic that he's actually got it. Because he's deserved a goal, and he's deserved recognition for his performances over the last couple of months.
Definitely, yeah.
Because he has, since he's come into the side, we played a lot better. So... Yeah. That's what I was going to say. If you'd have let me finish, okay? You always don't. Let me finish. I can be positive, all right?
Yeah.
We do cut you off a lot because you did say a couple of podcasts ago that Mourinho could be our manager. So a lot of the time now, we're very wary of what you could say. So we do have to.
If anything, we're doing you a favour, Mikey, and stopping you talk before you make.
Anyway, boys,
I know what I'm talking about.
Final thoughts on the goal from Harry Tizard.
Oh. Well, it is a lot like what Mikey said. It was good, but it was also good to get back in the game very quickly. My main concern was that if we didn't get a goal soon afterwards, we might have dropped our heads like we have done in the past. But getting the goal back quickly and then building on it like we did later in the game and staying on top was important.
Yeah. Can I put a point in quickly? Sorry, James. Well, I was just going to say that a goal gives a direct positivity to Armstrong because he's done really well in the background and he's done good performances when he's come in, but it shows that he's making a direct impact to the game as well rather than just something that goes off in the background. And Mikey's favourite website, whoscored.com, gave him the player of the match. Now I know Danny Ings got it because it goes down to a vote thing, but yeah, whoscored.com gave him the player of the match. He got a 8.2 and Danny Ings got an 8.1. And for me, I know I'm a little bit biased because I really like Stuart Armstrong and the way he plays. I think he did really well for me as well and could have probably been a contender for player of the match because he got his goal, but also directly impacting the play. He did really well.
Yeah. Hey, moving on from that, Leicester fans cannot argue that we had an excellent game today with many chances. With showing, for example, Danny Ings hitting the post. From nice, lovely ball in. Casper Michael very lucky to go into the bar. A free kick in from Ward-Prowse. The unfortunate header from Bednareck there. Nothing really came from it. But it bounced back down to Stuart Armstrong. Oh, Danny Ings hits it back out. It hits the crossbar. What a shame. From a lovely turn on the ball. Lovely clean connection. Casper Michael knew nothing about it.
Right, if you can't tell right now, Jamie is literally watching the highlights commentator.
Yeah, I'm not what are you on about?
It's only taken this long for me to work this out, so
I'm so what's going on because we literally
just because I watched the game.
Every point kind of and then Jamie skipped over about 2 highlights in about 30 seconds, which almost seems like he's watching it on something. But go on then. What were you specifically talking about in that period, Jamie?
And the Danny Ings is a beast and just hit the crossbar.
Which one's this one? From the cross from
Stuart Armstrong's cross from the right is the first one. We talked about both of them. So it's Stuart Armstrong's cross from the right, and then the one from the edge of the box that smacked against the crossbar.
Yeah, off Jack Stevens to he goes to grab the ball for Leicester player.
Okay, right. Okay, so and then it kind of peters out. So is there anything else specifically before half time?
Not really. Apart.
Are we not going to talk about the 25-yard volley?
It was really 25 yards.
There's not much to talk about it. It just hit the crossbar.
I'm so confused by what Jamie's talking about now that he kind of skipped over.
It was the snapshot volley, and at that point I think Ings had 4 or 5 shots, 2 saves, 2 hit the bar. And at that point, you did sort of feel, is it going to be one of those days? Danny Ings has been on great form, but he's not hit the target in 5 shots, scoring 5 shots, where he normally does it in 1 or 2. So I was a bit concerned at that point, but thankfully, as we saw later in the game, he was able to make a goal.
He's on the turn. He smacked that. That would have been a better goal than the one against Tottenham.
Oh, 100%.
It was lovely.
Because he's on the turn. It's a complete reaction. He's just smacked it on the volley. Probably the best connection he's made for a volley in a while. And it's cracked the crossbar. It would have been brilliant.
he had a first go, didn't it? And then it kind of, I can't remember what happened to the first one, but it kind of petered out to
it
again.
It was going wide. It was left foot, got deflected away by a Leicester player, and then I think it's like Maddison tried to pick up on the edge of the box, and he touched it, and Ings has just turned and smacked it on the volley.
Yeah, I think Stevens got up to it, and Maddison tried to get it down, but kind of missed it, and then Ings turns on the volley and then just absolutely smacks one. It rattles the crossbar. So, yeah, again, another threatening chance from the Saints, and we kind of then go into half-time, and I'm feeling a wave of almost, I can't believe this at the moment, the amount of confidence that we're having to take this game to Leicester in this fashion. It's like I was living the dream watching it. So,
well, you didn't want the half-time whistle to come, did you? You didn't want the half-time whistle to come because that ends sort of momentum, and that level of concern that they've had 2 shots compared to our 11 in that first half, and surely they're going to come out a completely different side and come out and attack us a bit more. So it was definitely one of those scenarios where you didn't want that the first half whistle to go.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I thought it was so strange seeing. I thought it was not strange, but you know what I mean. Like the complete difference we saw from having to play 5 at the back, and we mentioned it previously in previous episodes. The fact that we're saying we want 4 at the back because 5 at the back's not working, and it allows us more possession in the midfield and have confidence on the ball. Now we're playing out the back and we're turning on the ball, and even Bednarak, I think it was in the second half, sending Vardy to the shops with a turn, like he was going to play it back to the keeper. Vardy's on the end of it like that, and Bednarak Cruyff turn him or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I remember looking at it going, this is...
Wesley Hoyted him, I heard it's called.
Yeah, but it's got a better effect than Wesley Hoyt. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, this is brilliant. The way we're playing, it's just full of confidence, and it's a real credit to the fact that we kept Ralph on, and he's inspired those players into that confidence that are on at the moment. So, yeah, like you said, half time, I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to carry on because I didn't want a reactionary performance in the second half. I wanted us to carry on and keep going. So, yeah. What are you? Sorry, I'm again rambling, but it's just because I'm excited. You two, rest of you. What was your thoughts going on?
It's just frustration. The fact we could have been a good 3-1 up before the final whistle went. However, I was in confident mood after seeing the scores and statistics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just you got to half time and you just felt pride because players had gone out there. They obviously didn't have any like PTSD from the 9-0, and they just played. They played better than second in the league. I know they didn't have Ndidi and they didn't have Tielemans, but it's still an incredible team that they have. They've been playing really, really well, and we've managed to dominate them in the first half. And the only worry is that we've done it a lot in the last couple of seasons where we dominated a half and then came out for the second. We've just been pathetic.
Even this season.
Thankfully, we came out for the second half and we played as well as we did in the first half. And I say it's probably one of the most complete performances we've had this season.
Yeah. So right, second half, Jamie, go on. What happened in the second half?
Second half.
Let's pray.
Let him pass what, Harry?
Pressing play.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to predict that it's going to be the Shane Long penalty.
So we get second half. And so yeah, we get second half here, boys. Drum roll, please. Whistle blows. There's a bit of a boring few 10-15 minutes. And a ball goes out to Stuart Armstrong. He plays it through to Shane Long. Not offside at all. And the number 4, I can't pronounce his name, we're clearly pushed into the ground, to be fair. I don't know what he was thinking. And offside by a fingernail.
Yeah.
But it's sadly, James Prowse, you can see pictures of him. I'm not watching a video. Pictures of him holding the ball, looking all sad because he didn't get a penalty.
Yeah. I'm sorry to disrupt you, Jamie. I was going to say that McCarthy did make a good save before the penalty. There was one that went straight at him and he pushed it over. But going back to the penalty shout, Mikey, I know you're... you talk praise of Shane Long. How did you feel about the offside decision?
I was fuming.
Right, okay.
Were you surprised?
Absolutely fuming.
Were you surprised?
You look at the photo, and I know if you're offside, you're offside, but VAR is supposed to be for clear and obvious decisions. Yeah. It's his elbow that is not his elbow, his shoulder that is offside. But how is that an advantage?
And we've
in what world is that an advantage? And in what world is that clear and obvious?
Yeah. So we gave our thoughts, and Mikey had quite an interesting way to, in his opinion, change the ideas of VAR. We talked about it a lot more in depth on episode 50, which was against Huddersfield, because there wasn't too much to happen in that game. So we actually went over VAR and kind of turned it into almost a VAR episode in that one. Yeah. But basically, again, it's another. Shane Long's been really unlucky again, because that's his play style, to try and beat the line, and he's gone past. And I say it again, like I did in that episode. From the linesman's perspective, that's not a advantage, or he's advantageous from that position from Shane Long. He's in line, and if those lines didn't come out and the referee had to go over to the monitor, I think he probably would have. There's more chance that he would have called that onside. So I think in every other decision on the pitch, the referee makes his judgment from himself. But for offsides, for some reason, we get the lines out. Why not just play the decision without the lines and say, unless we're going to do other decisions with, video analysis and computer imagery, let the linesman or the referees decide by eye and see if they think it's an offside call.
The reason why it takes so long as well is because they have to work out where the centre of gravity of the player is, and then find out where the furthest point away from the centre of gravity it would be, and then they draw a line down from there. It's not like they can just draw a line at whatever point they want or whatever point of the foot they want. They literally have to do maths and get a geometry set out and everything like that to get this line. And that's the reason why it takes so long, because there is no quicker process for it.
They have to find the correct frame in which they believe the ball has left the foot.
And the problem is that the cameras aren't good enough that they're using. You cannot. If you do like 30 frames per second or something like that, that's not going to be good enough for a football game.
No.
So
I doubt they're using 240 for, like, Jamie's the media man.
As you can say, I personally refer to it as FPS, not frames per second.
The media man, not the commentary man.
I'm not a media man, I'm a film man as well.
Okay, well, tell us about, what frames per second are they going to be watching that film at, and what frames per second is going to give a much more accurate
Tell us now!
To be honest with you, it's not necessarily the frames per second, it's the quality of the video, because where it's a bit of a fuzzy image when you get from it. It needs to be more. The thing is, that with slow motion cameras, they're extremely expensive equipment.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's no way the Premier League will be able to afford that, so these are the cameras we have to stick with for the next few years.
There's no way.
I don't think you understand. No,
but what
you don't look it up, man.
I'm going to say. But what I'm going to say with James.
You look up slow motion cameras and how many stadiums they film.
What I'm saying is, it's not.
Is it? Can you get it from Prime? Because if there's a Sunday game and they need it the next day, can you get it on Amazon Prime?
I think I know what Jamie's saying. The fact is that it's probably like when you watch the TV or they're looking at the decisions, it's probably like 60 frames per second or something like that. To make an accurate decision, it's got to go much higher and get the specific frame that it leaves the foot, which allows the margin of error. If they're going to call something off, that's going to be like 18 millimeters off or something like that. But the difference between two frames in which the ball's left and what it hasn't, again, creates another margin of error. That might mean a completely different frame gives a completely different reading from their lines that they're creating. So unless the margin of error is defined straight down to what they know is, I think they call it 92% at the moment, which is the margin of error on the VAR calls. So it's not 100%, but you're taking an 18 millimeter call or whatever on a 92% accuracy, and I just don't know whether that's fair. But again, we won't go completely down VAR. It was called off. Shane Long was fouled from behind. But let's get back to the penalty. Like the decision. The Leicester defender, was it a push in the back or was it?
Yeah, it's a big old elbow.
Yeah,
he sort of just bundled him over. There wasn't really a. But to be fair, I'd much prefer of him to bundle Shane Long over than Shane Long to score and then have it taken away from him 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
I'd much prefer that. So
well, we know Shane Long doesn't go over easy. So when he goes over, it must be a penalty, right? Because like you say, Shane Long doesn't go over easy. But yeah, he went down and it got called a penalty. Is offside eventually, so frustrating. But again, adding pressure to the Leicester side. Go on, Jamie. What's the next highlight? Oh, anyone else have any final thoughts before we go down another VAR rant? Any other got?
It's a load of rubbish.
There you go.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Go on then.
Moving on to 10 seconds after the penalty clip.
Yeah.
As I replay the video.
So I'm watching it with you, Jamie. I'm watching it.
A beautiful chip ball through from Che Adams to Danny Ings. A cheeky finish from Danny Ings through the legs of Casper Michael.
Do you want to restart that bit, Jamie?
No, we're not
No,
restarting
come
that.
I want to keep that in. I want to keep that in. Jamie called him. What was his name? Jamie?
Casper Michael.
Yeah, that's the one. Go on. So, all right, go on. Tell us what happened then.
What?
Come on.
What are you on about?
Carry on. Right, so... Wait, come on, tell us the highlight then.
What do you mean Casper Michael? What's wrong
Carry
with that?
on.
But then what's wrong? I understand what you're laughing at me for.
That's all right. Right, so who put the ball through?
Che Adams.
And
That's
then what
a
happens?
chip.
Are you sure it's not H. Adams?
I said Che Adams. A quick ball from Che Adams. What the Che Adams? What's wrong with Che Adams?
Oh no, Jamie, it's fine, mate. You're doing everything perfectly. Just.
And then Annie Dings put it in the back of the net. So go.
What are you on about? I didn't say that.
Right, so but who was in goal then for Leicester?
Casper Michael.
All right.
So Casper Schmeichel was in.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Casper Michael. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. So
Right, just try to say Casper Schmeichel is the Michael, you know.
Okay.
That's Schmeichel. I said Schmeichel.
And you said Michael.
You said Michael. Casper Michael.
Casper Michael. Goes through Casper Michael's legs.
Everyone's regained themselves. We'll just do it again.
Yeah.
So, a lovely ball from Che Adams to
Yeah.
Danny Ings.
Yeah.
And it's very cheekily put it through Casper Schmeichel's
Yeah.
legs.
There we go.
first time.
And
Yeah,
he
exactly.
very much struggled to take his top off after that as well.
Yeah. But we got a. So what minute was this in? Like I can't remember off the top
That
of my
was
head.
1 minute 56 of the video.
81st.
No, I'm talking about in the game, Mikey.
81st minute of the game.
81st minute.
Yes.
Oh man, like I was going mental when that went in. Like I could not handle that situation. The fact that you couldn't write it, you couldn't.
Were their limbs in Bristol?
In my own little room watching it on my laptop, I was going mental. Like it was such a brilliant, just a brilliant moment. Like everyone, like I'm sure anyone, wherever they were, whatever they're doing, watching that or hearing it. I don't know what Dave Merrington was like or Adam Blackmore, but I'm sure they were going mental on the radio as well. Just lifts the whole Saints fan up and gives them that goal that they're looking for to beat Leicester. And it's that time where you're thinking, it's 81st minute. He's now got the goal. We've got 9 minutes to hold on. But in that pure moment, we were 2-1 up against Leicester. It's gone through the legs of Schmeichel, and it's... I can't put it to word. Like everyone knows that feeling. That I don't need to describe to you how I was feeling at that point because everyone was feeling it. Dannings put it in the back of the net. He's been our hero for that between Christmas and from that 9-0 loss. He's found his goals, found the form of probably his life. Can we say it was
14 goals so far this season?
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah, he's found those goals, and yet again he's delivered. People, Tiz said earlier in the podcast, it might not be his day, but he pops up and gets that goal. And you know, I can't
give a player like him 9. They gave him 9 shots.
Yes.
Leicester's supposed to give him 9. You can't give a player like that 9 shots. And for me, the best thing about it is Saints fans have finally got a player that they can properly fall in love with again. You remember the Graziano Pellas, the Tadics from last season? That seems ages ago now. And now we've got Danny Ings that we can sort of sing about every single game because you know he's going to deliver. He's a homegrown player as well. It's fantastic to have someone like him playing for Southampton once again.
Yeah.
Once again.
True. Well, he's Southampton poor, I think is what he's told me. So having a hero that you can really worship and not almost have that feeling of half feeling of, oh, they're going to get sold. You got to think at this moment, Danny Ings is our hero. He's the king of the scummers, whatever you want to call him.
The thing is, he wants it as much as we do. He's
Exactly.
not just there for the patient. He wants it as much as we do, and that's the key for me, more than anything else.
And he absolutely loves it. He loves it. He's loving his football right now. He's making his Southampton doing well as well, exactly at the same time. He's performing well. He's dragging us up the league. Everyone else is bouncing off the form that he's got as well, and he's been one of the major driving factors in why we've picked up so much form at the moment, because he's been in the right place at the right time, picked up us those goals, and yet again he's in the right place at the right time. Got to give credit to Che Adams as well, because he puts that ball through. I know there's been talk about how he might be off on loan, and the Leicester Leeds manager wants him. So fair play to him. He's come on. He's got to try and prove himself, and he gets assist. Picks out Che. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? There, Danny Ings, and Danny Ings puts it in the back of the net. It's what more could you ask for? What more could you ask for?
It's the most prolific season Danny Ings has had since his first season in the Premier League with Burnley years ago, where he scored 13, and he scored 11, and he's already got 14 in January. So it's very exciting.
What a player!
Yeah.
Hey, moving on from that goal, Southampton had a very, very unlucky chance. Unlucky chance where Casper Michael made a clear and very amazing save. James Ward-Prowse cleared it from the penalty box, a very curling shot. Then Højbjerg cleared Chadams, actually. I didn't realise that. Chadams passed it to David Bertrands, crossed it across the box to Danny Ings. And Danny Ings had a very nice shot. However, Casper Schmeichel made an amazing, world-class save. You can see it looked like Casper Schmeichel was tipping to his left-hand side, managed to twitch his body around to the right-hand side, make a nice clip on the ball and tip it on the post.
Yeah, very true. And then, so that was, what minutes that in? That's like...
a few
85th, something like that. So
2 minutes 21.
Yeah. Oh my God, right. Okay. And then... McCarthy makes another good save near the end of the game as well, doesn't he? Like, you got to.
He made a few.
I don't know.
Up for man of the match. I know it sounds odd just because we haven't really talked about it, but he could definitely be up for man of the match. He made a few key saves. He got the ball a lot from the corner, handling it well, obviously going to ground. I think he was one of the key players in this win, even though we've not spoken to him or spoken about him that much.
I'm using Mikey's source of who scored.
He made 7 saves.
7 saves, really? I got 4
saves.
On who scored? They only gave him 4. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh no! No! Yeah, no, he did give 4. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But you got to say, every save he made was a really important one. Like, there wasn't any just like half ones where he just had to push it out for a corner. They were all vital saves that he all made as well. And he's proved his point. He came in. Angus Gunn is going to take a bit of a hit after the 9-0 loss. Like, that's expected, picking the ball out of your net 9 times. And he's only a young lad as well. McCarthy with experience. Shown why he was picked near the end of the season when we kept up, and again he's shown his experience and pulling off those good saves as well. So again, McCarthy needs recognition. We've kind of gone into like players that we need to give credit to. McCarthy had a really good game. Cedric, we mentioned before, again showing another level, stepping up that extra level. We mentioned Armstrong as well, him playing well. Any other player? I don't think anyone had a bad game. Everyone had a good game. Any other players you want to mention?
But I said, Chadham's very impactful off the bench.
Yeah.
Apart from the free kick that almost cost us the game. He was the one that did give away the free kick that they whipped in.
Was that not on your highlights, Jamie?
Johnny Evans got onto the end of it.
It's at the end.
It's right at the end. I'm pretty sure it's either the last or second to last highlight.
So that game, a ball in from James Maddison. And two fans, a very lovely finish on Johnny Evans. Sorry, I forgot his first name. Second there. Very nice finish. However, they clearly were all offside. Quite a lot of them. A lovely offside back from the Saints.
Linesman didn't flag. Wait, linesman didn't flag, did he?
No,
linesman
didn't flag.
No, which really worried me because if is he being I guess he's been instructed to keep his flag down, right?
I would assume so. It was quite, in my opinion.
There was loads of them off, and we've obviously. Again, confidence to hold your line, and if they're running, everyone's going to be off. That's the idea. And they held the line, and they were all offside. So you got to say that's pretty ballsy for the last couple minutes of a game to hold on against Leicester, to hold your line no matter the cost. So fair play to them again, brimming with confidence, and it's paid off again. Although it went down to a VAR call, they didn't have to take too long down to it. They were all offside. So again, well done, and credit to the players and the manager for that confidence that they showed.
I just love the turnaround we've had.
Yeah.
Because like literally, so it's a good rounding up point. Just like literally from that 9-0, I honestly thought this was our season. We've been Premier League too long. We've had our stay. Goodbye. But just the immense turnaround we had, I could not believe it. It was great.
Well,
great.
How incredible the turnaround! It's 78 days since we lost 9-0 to Leicester.
Yeah.
And in that time, we've gone from 19th and in the relegation zone to being 12th and something like 3 points off of Europe. It's an incredible turnaround that we've had. And it is all down to the manager, the players, like actually using that as a wake-up call and a bit of motivation and like actually wanting to play, because it could have gone two ways that game. I think like we said that it could have gone two ways after that game, where it's either going to lead to an incredible amount of passion and wanting to play for the club and doing well and good performances, or it's just going to lead to a complete like downfall and a spiral, and that we were just going to get relegated from that. And it's credit to the players, credit to the managers, and credit to like the board and everyone sticking with each other. And being able to say that we're now 3 points away from a European spot.
Oh, is that right?
I checked the stats. We're not next as well.
I completely agree, to be fair, because after that 9-0 podcast, even then we didn't know. Ralph could have been sacked the next day. Because 9-0, we've just lost.
Well,
we're 19th in the league. He could have done. And fair play to the board for not just sticking to him.
Games as well.
Yeah, not just sticking with him, but giving Ralph the confidence to change his system to that 4-2-2-2, which is the key why Southampton have changed round their form and not dominating the league, but we've picked up so many points since the 9th of November. We're in the top 4 for form, and may that continue.
Yeah, and like Mikey said, it's the perfect turnaround story, really, isn't it? You got to say we've picked up so many points over this Christmas period and New Year, and now we've beaten Leicester. You got to say it could be done once, it could be done again.
Let's just hope that it's the last time a 9-0 gets mentioned on Match of the Day. There we go.
There you go. Yeah. God, I'm so happy. I don't really know what to talk about. I just want to kind of.
We're not used to winning this many games in a short period. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We don't support a massive team.
We do now, Blizzard.
I just want to blurt out everything in my mind. Stevens, what a turnaround. We're looking for 100%. A commanding centre-back. He's comfortable on the ball. He can clear the ball when he needs to. He's good on possession. He can find the out ball. He's got a decent pass on him. Look at the player he's turned into over this short period. Bednarak, we always knew it was in him. Again, he's shown today that he's confidence on the ball. Going against Vardy, the top scorer in the league. And again, they've performed well. Yes, we conceded 1 goal, but we didn't look nervous. You think if you said we were 2-1 up against Leicester 76 days ago or whatever it was, and we needed to hold on to that 2-1 lead, we had to put 5 at the back and we still conceded 9. You think we put 4 at the back today against Leicester? It knocked on and we kept a clean sheet against. Well, not a clean sheet. You know what I mean? Like we kept the lead against second in the league. You go through the whole team and show everyone that's playing at the moment has played really well and improved and kept their place in the team because they wanted to fight, and that's the difference.
It's not just the fact that we had the confidence to play well, but we also had the confidence, like when we're winning 2-1, we were still pressing them high. We had like 5 players in their half pressing their back 4, trying to get the ball off them again.
Yeah.
And like we could have had 5-6 this game, and we really should have scored 5 goals or something like that, because we deserved it. And it would have been an absolute travesty if that goal was going to be like stood at the end, because we deserved a win from this game.
And
it's another game where we've actually held strong and done well.
Yeah. And I think a solid defence is a key to any team performing well, because the worst you can get is a 0-0 if you get a clean sheet. That's the worst result you can get out of it. And we've obviously got the firepower up front if we need it now. I mean, Danny Ings on red hot form. Cheyan's shown he can make a difference if he comes on. Shinepo looking sprightly when he came off, but obviously got Redmond
Armstrong being an attacking threat.
Armstrong, yeah, again being an attacking threat. So that solid defence really allows those attacking players to come into their own. And we also know the work rate of the two up front we've got as well. Shane Long and Danny Ings working hard from the front takes that pressure off the rest of the team. And the system is really coming into its own now and really showing that we can be a danger with it. So, yeah, all for it, I guess. There you go. Right, any other thoughts that everyone has? We've all been rambling on, but I'm sure
you. Good day for Southampton Football Club.
Yeah,
big turnaround.
Roll on Wolves. Roll on Wolves, what I say.
And if you've been a fan all
Wolves,
through it, and you've been through the pain, I think you've deserved this win. So
one thing I'd like to say, Ollie, is where are the Ralph haters now? I don't see you on Twitter.
They've deleted their tweets now, haven't they?
Yeah, deleting the tweets.
Yeah.
I've screenshotted a few for when we win the league with Ralph, so I can repost
Che Adams knew all along. He knew what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's right. We are going to win the league next season.
Let's not get carried away. All right, okay. We're still only 8 points away from
Liverpool. Who?
Yeah.
Who?
So,
well, we've got.
We'll get carried away when we beat Liverpool at Anfield. That's when we'll get carried away.
Yeah. Okay. But
who says that we can't be unbeaten from now to the end of the season?
2020 is going to be an unbeaten year, boys. Here we go. Right. So, is there any other things because we have been rambling on for a while, but we're in good spirits. You have to forgive us because we are in good spirits. So, any other final thoughts from you guys? Because I'm wary of time.
I think we've covered everything. To be fair,
I've now got a new favourite video on Twitter, and it's the Southampton fans. They stick your 9-0 up your backside, and it's just amazing, the turnaround and the form and everything. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. So are we all happy to leave it there then? Because we've had a good time. We've had some fun talking about it. But there we go. So, was it Mikey that said we've got Wolves on next? Roll on to Wolves. And as we roll on, who was that? All right. Sorry, Tissard. It was you then. Okay. But
I said that.
Exactly. As we roll on
that famous quote, "Roll on Wolves." It was me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as we do roll on to Wolves, we'll also do a preview podcast for that as well. So make sure you stick around for that. That's going to be probably Friday as we do that. But there'll be questions that come in as well, so you can give your questions that will be featured and we'll answer. As long as we can answer them, we'll answer every single one. Now, Tiz, how can they get those questions in?
They can get it in on the Saints Prime Instagram. I'll post it Wednesday, so you can put in questions for Thursday's recording.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also all going off on the Saints Prime Twitter as well. It's at Saints Prime Pod. Tiz has been really good and putting some mini clips of the videos up there as well. So make sure you go check those out. We've got like little things that we talk through the podcast. So if you don't want to see what we talk about, we put the highlights on there. You can have a look at them. We also do little things. We've got transfer rumors up on there. We've got what else? We've got like reactions to the games and
me thinking it's my Twitter account and liking very weird things.
Yeah.
It's also there.
Strange likes that that's Davey that he's got on the wrong account. But apart from that, so go and check out the Twitter as well because it's really good there. We're also really close to 200, so if you can tick us over 200, that'd be much appreciated.
100 followers.
That as well, yeah. So yeah, nothing else much to talk about, but we'll see for the Wolves preview. We forgot to mention who we are, so it's me, Ollie. I've also been joined by
Jamie Allen.
Harry.
And
there we go.
Let's go.
Come on.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you for the next episode. All right, see you later. Up the Saints.